You clicked because you want to burn belly fat fast, and you probably think you need to eat less, move more, count every calorie. Wrong. The real reason your belly fat refuses to budge has nothing to do with willpower. It has everything to do with one hormone running wild in your body right now: cortisol. I've spent over a decade studying metabolic health and hormonal balance, and what I discovered changed how I advise every single client. The fastest path to a flatter stomach is not through restriction, it is through strategic hydration. Today, I am giving you 4 specific liquids that attack cortisol at its source, liquids that flip the switch on stubborn fat storage. You will know exactly what to drink, when to drink it, and why each one works. But here is the part nobody talks about. One of these drinks actually backfires if you consume it at the wrong time. Miss that detail and you make belly fat worse. Stay with me. But before we dive into that, you need to understand the enemy first: cortisol. When this stress hormone spikes, your body enters survival mode, storing dangerous fat around your organs and triggering cravings for sugar. It's a vicious loop. Stress creates cravings, and cravings create belly fat. But what if you could break that cycle with a simple drink? The 4 liquids I'm about to share do exactly that. Each one targets a different pathway. Some calm your nervous system directly, some optimize your metabolism, some flush out the toxins that trigger inflammation. Together, they create an environment where belly fat has no choice but to release. Let me show you the first one. Chamomile tea. This is your secret weapon for cortisol control. Chamomile is nature's sedative, and it contains an antioxidant called apigenin. Apigenin binds to receptors in your brain that promote calmness, the same receptors targeted by anti-anxiety medications, but without the side effects, without the dependency, just gentle, natural relaxation. Why does this matter for belly fat? Because cortisol should drop significantly during evening hours. Your body needs to enter recovery mode. Growth hormone releases during deep sleep and repairs tissue while burning fat. But if cortisol is elevated at night, growth hormone gets suppressed. You wake up tired, your metabolism is sluggish, your belly stays soft. Chamomile tea consumed 30 to 60 minutes before bed creates a buffer. It signals your nervous system to downshift. It lowers cortisol intentionally, and it prepares your body for deep, restorative sleep where fat burning actually happens. This is not about feeling relaxed. This is about hormonal optimization. Studies have shown that chamomile improves sleep quality significantly. One trial found that people who drank chamomile tea for 4 weeks had better sleep and lower symptoms of depression. Depression and chronic stress are cortisol amplifiers, so by addressing both, chamomile creates a compounding effect: better mood, better sleep, lower cortisol, less belly fat. Here's your chamomile protocol. Use 2 tea bags per cup, or if using loose chamomile, use 2 tablespoons. You want it strong. The stronger the tea, the more apigenin you consume. Steep for at least 5 minutes and cover the cup while steeping to trap the essential oils, because those oils contain the calming compounds. Drink it warm, not hot. Let it be a ritual, a signal to your body that the day is ending. Combine this with dimming your lights and putting your phone away, no screens for 30 minutes before sleep. This amplifies the chamomile effect tenfold. Your cortisol drops even faster, your melatonin rises naturally, you fall asleep easier, you stay asleep longer, and you wake up with a flatter stomach. If this is resonating with you, drop a comment below and tell me your biggest struggle with belly fat. I read every single one. Now, chamomile handles your nighttime cortisol, but what about when you first wake up? That is when cortisol naturally peaks, and what you do in those first 15 minutes after opening your eyes determines whether your body burns fat or stores it for the entire day. This is where most people sabotage themselves without even knowing it. That brings me to liquid number 2, warm water with lemon. Not cold, not room temperature, but warm. The temperature matters because of how your digestive system responds. Warm liquid relaxes the smooth muscles in your gut, while cold liquid constricts them. When your gut is relaxed, digestion improves, and when digestion improves, inflammation drops. When inflammation drops, cortisol follows. The lemon adds another layer because it contains vitamin C, which is directly involved in cortisol regulation.
Your adrenal glands use vitamin C to produce and metabolize stress hormones. When you are low on vitamin C, cortisol clearance slows down and it stays in your system longer, continuing to signal your body to store fat. One lemon squeezed into warm water gives you a quick vitamin C boost right when you need it most. Here's your application. Boil water, let it cool for 2 minutes until it's warm, not scalding, then squeeze half a lemon into it. Drink it 15 to 20 minutes before breakfast. This primes your liver and stimulates bile production. Bile breaks down fat, so not only are you reducing cortisol, you're also improving your body's ability to metabolize the fat you already have. One of my clients started this single habit and changed nothing else. Within 1 week, her bloating reduced by half, and within 3 weeks, she lost 2 inches off her waist. Not from exercising more, not from eating less, just from starting her day with warm lemon water. Your body wants to release this weight. You just need to give it the right signals. So, you've handled cortisol at night with chamomile, and you've handled it first thing in the morning with warm lemon water. But what about in the middle of the day when stress hits, when deadlines pile up, and your body wants to reach for sugar? That's where this third liquid becomes your metabolic accelerator. Ginger tea. This one attacks belly fat from a completely different angle. Ginger is thermogenic, which means it raises your internal body temperature. When your temperature rises, your metabolism speeds up, and you burn more calories at rest. But that's not even the most powerful part. Ginger directly suppresses cortisol production in the adrenal glands. A study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food showed that ginger extract reduced cortisol levels by up to 23% in just 8 weeks. That's significant. Lower cortisol means less fat storage signaling, fewer cravings, and better sleep. And better sleep means even lower cortisol the next day, so you start stacking wins. Ginger also fights inflammation, and chronic inflammation is another cortisol trigger. When your body is inflamed, it stays in stress mode.
Ginger contains compounds called gingerols and shogols that inhibit inflammatory pathways at the cellular level. Less inflammation, less stress, less cortisol, less belly fat. The chain reaction is powerful. Here's how to make ginger tea properly. Do not use the powdered stuff in capsules. Use fresh ginger root instead. Cut a 1-inch piece, slice it thin, and boil it in 2 cups of water for 10 minutes. Strain and drink. The longer you boil, the stronger the effect. Drink this mid-morning or early afternoon. This timing matters because cortisol naturally peaks in the morning, and you want to ride that wave down, not fight against it. Avoid drinking ginger tea too close to bedtime because ginger can be mildly stimulating for some people and might interfere with sleep. And sleep disruption raises cortisol, which defeats the purpose. Keep it before 3 in the afternoon and you get all the benefits without any of the drawbacks. Are you subscribed to this channel yet? If you are getting value from this, hit that subscribe button right now. Now before we get to liquid number 5, the one that can actually backfire on you, we need to talk about the foundation, because without this next piece, everything else I just gave you loses half its power, and most people are making this mistake right now without even realizing it. Liquid number 4 is plain water. I know what you're thinking, that is too basic. Everyone knows water is healthy. But here's what you do not know. Most people are chronically dehydrated without realizing it, and dehydration is a cortisol trigger. When your body senses low fluid levels, it panics and releases cortisol as a distress signal. Your metabolism slows and fat burning stops. A study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found that even mild dehydration increases cortisol levels significantly. We're talking about losing just 1.5% of your body water. That happens faster than you think. 1 cup of coffee, a skipped glass at breakfast, a busy morning at work, and suddenly your cortisol is elevated for hours, and your belly is holding on to every ounce of fat it can. Here's exactly how to use water strategically. Drink 16 ounces immediately upon waking, before coffee, before food, before you check your phone. Your body has been fasting for 7 to 9 hours and it is dehydrated. Flooding it with water first thing tells your system that everything is okay. No emergency, no need to hoard fat. Cortisol drops and metabolism activates. Then spread your intake across the day and aim for half your body weight in ounces. If you weigh 160 pounds, drink 80 ounces minimum. Sip consistently and do not chug it all at once. Steady hydration keeps cortisol stable,
while spikes and crashes keep it chaotic. This alone can transform your body within days. If you're still with me, you're serious about this, and you're not like most people who click away after 2 minutes. You want real change, so hit that like button right now. It helps this video reach more people who need this information, and it takes you half a second. Do it now before you forget. Liquid number 5, green tea, the one that can actually backfire on you. Alright, this is the liquid I warned you about at the beginning, the one that can actually make your belly fat worse if you get the timing wrong. And I see people making this mistake every single day. If you've been drinking green tea first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, you need to stop immediately. Here's why. Green tea is incredible for fat loss. It contains catechins, especially one called EGCG. EGCG boosts fat oxidation and helps your body use stored fat for energy, while also providing a gentle caffeine boost for alertness and focus. But here's the trap. Green tea still contains caffeine, and caffeine stimulates cortisol release. If you drink green tea on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, you spike your cortisol right when it is already peaking naturally. You add fuel to the fire, and you make belly fat storage worse, not better. This is why timing is everything. The correct way to use green tea, drink it mid-morning, after breakfast, when cortisol is starting to decline naturally. The caffeine gives you a lift without creating a hormonal spike, while the catechins go to work on fat cells. You get energy and fat burning without the cortisol penalty. 1 to 2 cups maximum. More than that and you risk overdoing the caffeine. Also, avoid green tea after 2 in the afternoon, because the caffeine has a half-life of about 5 hours, which means half of it is still in your system 5 hours later. Drink it at 4, and half is still active at 9. Your sleep quality suffers, and poor sleep equals high cortisol tomorrow. You sabotage yourself. Moderate use means intentional use, not mindless sipping all day. Here's a real scenario. A man I worked with drank 4 cups of green tea daily, thinking he was being healthy, but he drank it from 6 in the morning until 7 at night. His cortisol was through the roof, and his belly fat wouldn't budge. We cut him back to 2 cups, both before noon, and within 6 weeks he dropped 7 pounds without changing his diet. Same tea, different timing, completely different results. So now you have all 5 liquids. But here's what separates people who get results from people who stay stuck. It's not just knowing what to drink, it's knowing how to layer them throughout your day in the exact sequence that keeps your cortisol curve optimized from the moment you wake until the moment you fall asleep. Let me give you the complete protocol right now. Morning, upon waking, 16 ounces of plain water. 15 minutes later, warm water with half a lemon. Wait 30 minutes, then eat breakfast. Mid-morning, after breakfast, 1 cup of green tea. Early afternoon, 1 cup of ginger tea. Evening, 30 minutes before bed, 1 strong cup of chamomile tea. This sequence is not random. It's designed around your cortisol curve. Water first to rehydrate and stabilize. Lemon to activate digestion and provide vitamin C for cortisol clearance. Green tea to boost fat burning when cortisol is naturally declining. Ginger tea to continue suppression and fight inflammation. Chamomile to bring cortisol to its lowest point for optimal sleep. Each drink builds on the last. Now, I know some of you are sitting there thinking, this sounds too simple. You've tried everything. Keto, intermittent fasting, counting macros, hours at the gym, and nothing worked. So why would a few cups of tea make any difference? That's actually the exact question you need to ask, because the answer reveals why you've been stuck. Can these liquids really make that much difference? Yes, because they target the root cause. Most diets fail because they address symptoms. They cut calories, they eliminate food groups, they add exercise. But if cortisol stays high, your body fights back by lowering your metabolism, increasing hunger, and storing fat preferentially in your midsection. These liquids do not fight your body, they work with it. They communicate safety to your nervous system and tell your body that stress is not constant, that it's okay to release fat stores, that it can relax. This is a fundamentally different approach, and it works because it respects biology, not because it relies on willpower. I want to be clear about something. These liquids enhance fat loss. They do not replace basic health practices. If you eat processed junk all day and never move your body, no amount of tea will save you. But if you're already making an effort and hitting a wall, this is your breakthrough. This is the missing piece. This is what tips the scale. And here's the final piece that determines whether this works for you or not. Because I can give you the perfect protocol, I can explain the exact science, I can show you the studies and the client results, but none of that matters if you don't understand this one truth about how your body actually changes. I also want you to think about consistency. One day of this protocol will help, but the magic happens over weeks. Your cortisol patterns shift, your nervous system recalibrates, your body learns to trust that stress is not constant. That belly fat you have carried for years starts to soften, then it starts to shrink, then it starts to disappear. Let's bring this home. You came here wanting to burn belly fat and reduce cortisol fast, and I gave you 5 specific liquids: chamomile tea to bring cortisol down and improve sleep quality, warm water with half a lemon to support your liver and provide vitamin C for cortisol clearance, ginger tea to suppress cortisol production and fight inflammation, plain water to prevent dehydration-triggered cortisol spikes, green tea used moderately and timed correctly to boost fat oxidation without hormonal backlash. You now have a complete daily protocol, timed to your natural cortisol rhythm, designed to work with your biology, backed by science, ready to implement today. No expensive supplements, no restrictive diets, no brutal workouts, just smart hydration that transforms your hormones and melts belly fat. You have everything you need. The only question is whether you will use it. Start tomorrow morning, one day at a time. Watch your body respond. Watch your belly change. Watch your stress melt away. This is your turning point. If this video helped you, do 2 things right now. First, subscribe and turn on notifications. I release new content every week that goes even deeper into metabolic health and hormonal balance. Second, click the video appearing on your screen right now. It covers the exact foods that accelerate everything I just taught you. Watch it next. Your transformation continues there.